Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to We Need to Talk. I'm just going to hop in here and see if anybody jumps in, wants to chat a little bit today. I don't know what kind of new news is going on, but yeah, I figured I'll just hop in here and say hello for a little bit. See if anybody wants to say hi, some of my new subscribers and whatnot. Live has been up for 4 seconds. Let's end the. Well, we're not going to end it. We're all good. So yeah, I've been looking into creating a video about the WOTC, which is the Workers' Tax Credit, meaning illegal immigrants actually are going to be somebody that people want to hire over American citizens, simply for the fact of they're going to get tax credits for doing so. And so looking into that was pretty interesting to me. Definitely good to know that American citizens are being put on the back burner as far as things go. So yeah, I was making a video about that today, and it went pretty well. I'm pretty tired, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. I woke up, cleaned the house, and my work week was absolutely insane. I worked way too much till like 8 o'clock last night. Luckily, this upcoming week's gonna be a little more chill, but I'm still very tired. I need to shave, as you can see. And yeah, I'm just gonna hop in here and let's go through some Twitter news and see what's going on in the world. Oh. There's an unearthed video of Georgia school shooter Colt Gray with blood on his face while deer hunting, saying this is the greatest day ever. That's sad. I feel so bad for all the people involved in that. Plus, I mean, the shooters, like, I can't imagine how messed up in the head you would have to be. Akon says if every single African American moves to Singo and invests in his smart city, they will become millionaires and the U.S. will collapse overnight. Okay. Akon's doing his thing for the African American community. Polish soldiers defend Poland and Europe from an invasion of fake Islamic asylum seekers. Poland has been going hard. I mean, they've been like shooting at people crossing the borders and all kinds of stuff. They're doing what they need to do to protect their borders, and they're right to do so. They're 100% right to do so. They got barbed wire up, shooting with water. It's pretty crazy. Twitter is an interesting place. I'll say that. Uh-oh. I'm under the impression personally that we just need to deport all the illegal immigrants, and then if they want to come back in the right way, they're more than welcome. But I don't think that's going to happen. Not in America. We're too pussified for sure. 100% too pussified. Fake North American asylum seeker in Barcelona wants to rob a woman but is captured and educated by Spanish patriots. Education is important. These education is important videos on Twitter are pretty interesting. It's usually just people committing crimes getting beat up. Well, if nobody's going to plop in here, I guess I'll go downstairs and take a nap. We'll give it till 10 minutes. I haven't gotten used to the whole sitting in front of a camera, doing nothing, just chatting away to nobody. A little awkward, won't lie. A little strange, but part of the gig, I guess, right? Hey, how are you? I'm just trying to say hi to my new subscribers. So if you're one of them, Hey, what's up? How are you? I've been doing a video today on the WOTC. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a workers' tax credit that it seems a lot of these large corporations are getting for employing illegal immigrants versus employing American citizens. So I'm going to have a video coming out on Monday on that. And right after I got done doing my video, I said, hey, why not just hop onto YouTube and chill for a little bit, say hi if anybody wants to say hi, and if not, that's totally fine. But thank you for dropping in. Thank you for the like. If you have any questions or want to say anything, just hop into the chat and let's talk. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue chilling and looking at Twitter and kind of talking to the camera about what I'm looking at. It's pretty slow pretty slow Saturday. My week was absolutely insane, and I am exhausted. Oh, absolutely exhausted. Why is our governor in Ukraine? Is he? Let's look this up. Hold on a second. Indiana governor in Ukraine. There's absolutely no reason our governor should be in Ukraine. What the hell? Eric Holcomb visits Ukraine. Let's check this out. What's this about? Hold on. That's a whole video. I'm going to screenshot that and go back to that later. Probably getting money. Let's be honest. I mean, what other reason would Eric Holcomb have to be in Ukraine? All of these, I used to be so like Republican and just on the side of Republicans all the time. And now I'm to the point where I'm like, most of you are snakes. All the Democrats are snakes, in my opinion, except maybe like Tulsi Gabbard. Like we got one or two that are okay, RFK, But other than that, even these, I think that's the best thing that Trump has done for the American political system is he came in and he threw a wrench in it and he allowed us to see what can happen. He was just like, hey, this is what America can be like. You can have honest politicians and ones that actually are looking out for your best interest. And then now everything is questionable. Like, what the hell is Eric Holcomb doing in Ukraine? I bet 10 years ago we would have been just like, oh, he's just he's supporting the cause, something of that nature. As a show of support and to strengthen ties. What would an Indiana governor, what would it matter if he goes over to Ukraine? All right, here's a something I found on WRTV. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb made history this week by being the first sitting U.S. governor to visit Ukraine since the Russia full-scale invasion. Okay, we wouldn't even be in this war. Nobody would be in this war if NATO would have left their paws off of Ukraine. By the way, NATO's like, nah, we're going to keep just building closer to you, Russia, knowing damn well that Russia does not want us closer to their borders. His focus was to create diplomacy with hope of positively impacting the future of economic, academic, and cultural relations. The governor met with the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, to discuss how Indiana can strengthen its support of Ukraine now and in the future. Indiana and Ukraine? What the hell? While he was there, he also visited the Wall of Remembrance in honor of the Ukrainians who have lost their lives in the Ukrainians fight against Russia. Have you watched any of the videos on Twitter that are going around where they're legitimately kidnapping people to bring them to the war, like bring them to the front? I saw a video the other day where they were trying to kidnap a guy that was just like out on a walk, and he pulled a gun on them, and he's like, dude, I'll shoot you. Like, leave me alone. I'm not going with you. They are, no matter what the mainstream media tells you, I think they're simply getting their butts kicked. And I don't like that for anybody. I don't want anybody to die in a senseless war. It's sad. I don't know if you ever watched the movie All Quiet on the Western Front, but if you have not, I highly, highly recommend watching All Quiet on the Western Front. That will give you a complete... I've never been to war. I've never been in that kind of combat, so I don't know. But it makes you... I think I almost cried. Yeah, watching that just... you get a whole new, what's the word? You just get a whole new perspective on what these people really deal with and how freaking senseless it is most of the time, almost all of the time. Completely crazy. I've been learning about World War II history and how Churchill had realized, I think around like 1940, that the war was it 40 or 42? the war was pretty much lost, and so he just started just bombing German villages and making sure to continue the killing until America would step in and continue the war with them. Absolutely wild. Churchill was not, I would say, a very good guy. I would be a little more on the side of he was a maniac. They also used to say that they would walk into his private office and he'd be playing with like GI Joes and stuff, and like making them kill each other. A little weird, a little bit weird for an old man to be doing, but hey, whatever floats your boat, my dude. Whatever floats your boat. Pretty wild. So let's read more about this. The governor signed a memorandum of understanding between a name I can't pronounce, something Oblast, a province in Ukraine and Indiana, with a focus on community building through collaborative efforts in academia, art, agriculture, and economic development. What could Indiana, how can Indiana help Ukraine? Or how can Ukraine help Indiana? Holcomb needs to go. I don't like the guy. I don't like him at all. I think he needs to get out of here. So, yeah, I'm thank you for bringing that up. I had no clue. I'll look more into this for sure. The governor says there's about 9,000 people living in Indiana with Ukraine ties. There's a lot more with Mexican ties. The state has taken a bold stance against Russia in the past. The most recent includes legislation that doesn't allow Russians to own property in Indiana. Okay. So Russians aren't allowed, no. But everybody else is. Anybody else. I saw a video or something about a lady who donated $52 to Ukraine. She lived in Russia, and it was for like women and children. Ended up jailing her for 12 years. Can you imagine donating $52 to something and getting jailed for 12 years, like in prison? Wild. Absolutely wild. But I mean, they're at war, so I guess that's the world they live in. I have a lot of friends in Russia, actually, believe it or not. I used to be a musician, and one of my music kind of like took off in Russia, of all places. One night I woke up with like 300,000 people from Russia just like commenting on this video and stuff. And I'm like, what the heck? So I ended up making some pretty close connections with people in Russia, and that they tell me about life over there. And some of them are like, yeah, it's a little rough, but not too bad. Just mostly like financial issues. Most of the people live there love it. They're like, dude, this place is chill as long as you're not doing anything crazy. Like if you break the law, you're going to prison for sure. No questions asked. Like they're not going to slap you on the hand or on the wrist at all. They're going to imprison you. But as far as like safety, they're like, this is the safest place. You can walk around the forests at 3 a.m. in the morning by yourself and not have to worry about getting attacked by somebody. I'm like, that's nuts. I can't even walk. Well, I can, but I wouldn't walk in most cities or anywhere in America at 3 a.m. in the morning without a gun, for sure. Like, there's no way you're going to catch me walking around a city in America without a gun, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, what's up, new viewer? How are you? Thanks, guys. I got 2 new viewers. Hell yeah. I guess David Hall told me that Eric Holcomb is in Ukraine. So that's kind of what we're chatting about, is what is he doing in Ukraine? It seems that Indiana has now taken a stance on Russians not being allowed to own any property in Indiana, as well as they are wanting to have a focus on community building through collaborative efforts in academia, agriculture, and economic development. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's make sure he's getting his piece of the pie for sure. You know what? If this war is going to continue and we're going to keep sending billions of dollars over there, why don't I go visit? Smart dude. I mean, evil, but smart. Whatever. If you can get away with it, I guess. I wouldn't do it. Me personally, I have more morals than that. And I was saying earlier that we wouldn't even be in this war if NATO would have just chilled the hell out and not decided that they needed to get into Russia. We have to get into Russia. It's always been, we have to get. That's like, if you look at the Bolsheviks revolution, the Rockefellers were trying to use the oil in Russia. And at the time, their Tsar Nicholas was like, no, I've already allowed, who's the other big family? You got the Rockefellers, and then you have come on. Okay. I can't remember their name. Let me look. Rockefellers and who? Rockefellers. And damn it, who's the other big time big bank family? I can't remember. They were the ones getting the oil out of Russia, though. I'm 33. So, yeah, they were getting all of the oil out of Russia. The Rockefellers wanted to, but the Tsar Nicholas was like, no, we can't allow that. I already have allowed these guys to do it. JP Morgan, okay, so there's a lot. There's a lot to this. JP Morgan actually was involved. But it's not JP Morgan. It is the Rockefellers and who the hell else was it? Oh, of course I have a lot to learn. I don't know everything. Not by far. I've been listening to this podcast. It's a historical podcast by a guy named the Martyr Made Podcast, and he breaks stuff down in just ways that is like blowing my mind. I've been listening to it for like, I don't know, the past 5 weeks or something. And he is, if you haven't ever heard of it, check it out. The Martyr Made, and that's martyr as in MARTYR, Martyr Made. But long story short, they wanted to come in, take the oil. He said no. And then that's when those bankers and Jacob Schiff over here in America, Trotsky came over to America, which is, if you know about the USSR, it's like Trotsky, Lenin, and Stalin. Trotsky comes over and he gets funded $20 million, which like in today's Rothschilds, thank you so freaking much. Rothschilds wanted to get the oil out of Russia, or they were getting the oil out of Russia. The Rockefellers wanted the money or the oil. So the long story short, the bankers funded Trotsky to create the Red Army, and then they were able to take over Russia by force. So it was all funded by big banks. Russia has so much as far as it goes with like minerals and oil and natural resources. And America wants their hand on that. Let's be honest. Who doesn't? Right? Which country wouldn't? But yeah, it's the Rothschilds. They were the ones that had. And so Nicholas ended up saying, look, let's have a truce. I'm going to put $800 million into your banks, and then I'm going to send $80 million out to Paris to the Rockefellers' like personal bank. And that still wasn't good enough. They funded a coup, and it worked. And then a bunch of white Christians ended up getting murdered and killed and starved to death because of oil. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. And yeah, Eric Holcomb's probably over there getting all of the money that he can while the money's still flowing before Trump gets in. I really do think Trump's gonna get in this time. I think this is too big to rig, and I know some people don't believe it was rigged. That's fine. Whatever. We all have our own opinions. I personally have never stayed up to see the results of an election, and then they stopped counting because of a water leak in Georgia. That's just me. And I haven't been around for that many elections, to be fair, but fishy, weird. What are you all doing on your fine Saturdays? These Zen pouches, man, they're no good. Can't get off of them. Wish I could. I'm working on it. Don't judge me. But yeah, the that Martyr Made podcast I was listening to an episode, research visiting. Where are you visiting, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to be specific about the place, but just and what you're researching. Yeah, that Martyr Made podcast is if you want to research or just learn a lot. I was listening to about the civil rights. Oh no, I turned it on. And the collective character, and around those wounds have grown all. Yeah, the blacks and the Jews. It's called, and it talks about how the Jews were very helpful with as far as civil rights went. Louisville, nice. I've been to Louisville one time, and I got a ticket because of a toll. I drove through Louisville and got a ticket the first time, so I've refused to go back to Louisville. They got me for like $15. I'm like, dang, all I did was go over a bridge. What's up, Bloomington? How's life in Bloomington? You getting flooded with illegals? We haven't seen it over where I'm at. Not too noticeable. I have noticed some, but I mean, there's always been some Mexicans and Venezuelans over here, so it's not too weird and too bad. We also don't have a lot of housing here where I live, so there'd be nowhere to put anybody for real. Like, but I think it's wild what's happening to a lot of these counties, man. I know Cincinnati, Ohio. I was watching a video on YouTube about Cincinnati, Ohio, and I guess they have a town called Laughlin in Cincinnati, and it has been. They had 3,600 residents, and then they moved in 1,000 Haitians. Like, dude, that's 1/3 right there. Boom, 1/3 population changed. The demographic is completely changed. Um, it was a black neighborhood. It is a black neighborhood, and it continues to be a black neighborhood. But now it's like 1,000 African immigrants. It's wild. That's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, what the heck? I mean, California wouldn't be surprising to me if they're just like, we'll give you tickets to go wherever you want, but why go to Indiana? If I was homeless, I would go to Hawaii. I actually used to live in Hawaii, and the homeless population out there, it's not great. It's not horrible. I'm sure it's way worse now, but I lived on Maui, a place called Napili, and my dad lived there. And then so when I was like 18, I ended up meeting my dad, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come live in Hawaii?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So I ended up going out to Hawaii and living with him for a little bit, and that would be the place to be homeless for sure. I mean, they have like showers everywhere because the surfers, so you can just go take a shower, and people are like super chill, and they would leave soap and shampoo out and stuff for people. And they really just minded. They paid their own business. You know, they minded their business. They do drugs to get high on the beach or whatever, but they mostly stayed out of the way. So, Caravan to Midnight, John B. Wells. I'll write that down real quick. Caravan to Midnight. Caravan to Midnight. John B. Wells. What's that about? You want to give me a quick summary? I work in B-Town, but live in Spring Mill, which is an hour north of Louisville and an hour south of Indy. How's it going over there? You guys getting flooded with immigrants? I'm sure being that close to Louisville and Indy, you're probably. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, yeah. You said you live in Spring Mill. Okay. You guys getting flooded as well? Not too bad. That's good. Yeah, I heard about the Seymour stuff because I wanted our city to create an ordinance to just stop it before like the flow came, you know. And so I went to a couple city hall meetings, and I was telling the people like, "Hey, let's just create an ordinance." I've looked at different places in Colorado. What they're doing is they're creating ordinances that say like, if you bring them here, we're going to repossess your bus, and we're going to fine the bus company X amount of dollars. And like um, that's a good way to at least put a stop to it before it starts. And our attorney for our city was just completely against it. He's like, "You can't write an ordinance." I said, I know I can't write an ordinance, but I can write one and give it to you guys, and then you can kind of go off of it and create. And they were so against it, and everybody here is Republican, supposedly Republican, but they all have they're all getting paid, and if they can make more money by destroying this small community, they will. I have no doubt to that. I mean, it's sad. Our mayor's pretty cool. I went to his house a few times. We've chatted, we've talked and hung out. But I'm not sold that he has the best intentions for our town or our community. Well, yeah, I mean, the best way to get involved, I would say, is this is the only thing I know to do is just to spread awareness. Um, a lot of these people that are coming here, I'm sure, just want better lives. That's I can empathize with wanting a better life, especially if you have children. But it has to be done in the right way, and the government has failed doing it the right way miserably. I mean, just absolutely miserably. And I think I said in one of my videos, and I don't know if everybody's watched them or seen it, but the best way to do this, because I think this is more I think this has more to do with corporations wanting employees. Like the best way to have handled this would have been like, hey, we're going to bring in 10 million immigrants this year. We're going to vet them, and the corporations that hire them are going to have to pay everything for them. Like, dude, okay. I don't think a lot of people would have been pissed off about that. Tonight is intelligence briefing with people who have really good information. Tonight, an intelligence briefing. Can you, if you don't want to be a little more detailed on here, could you send me an email? My email is in the bio. It's we need to talk 0426 at Gmail. If you'd shoot me over an email about what you're talking about, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'd love to know what that's about. I had somebody send me an email saying that they needed to talk to me urgently, that they had some like insane news, and to contact them through like this encrypted email address and all of this other stuff. So I downloaded it, made my account, sent them an encrypted email, and they haven't gotten back to me. It's driving me nuts. Like I'm going to check it real quick. I really would love to know what it's about, because it was on some 007 type. I think when you get to the bottom of all of this, it's just going to be that people are getting their freaking pockets padded. Like, what else could it be about? And I know there's some people think like they're bringing in armies of illegal immigrants to take over America. Maybe, I don't know. Like that's a little bit long shot, but maybe not. You know, especially if they are looking to go towards a more communist, socialist environment, which it seems that the Democrats are. Then it really wouldn't surprise me. But I have to say the pushback on that would be the fact that when the Republicans are saying, hey, we need voter ID, they're pushing back against that. So it's probably more just to stay relevant. I think the Democrats realize that they're falling apart miserably. Black voters are heading over to the Republicans. A lot of Latino voters are heading over to the Republicans. I don't know how you could ever vote Democrat right now. Like, RFK is cool, I guess. I mean, he's like, thanks for the support for Trump, but I mean, you need to go and subscribe to be a member for more than 5 minutes. Okay, so you're saying I need to go subscribe to this John B. Wells guy? Is he? Let me look this up on my phone real quick. John B. Wells. I think I know who you're talking about. John B. Wells. No, I don't know who you're talking about. John B. Wells, Caravan to Midnight. Okay, I just found him. All right, I'm subscribing. And you're saying that he's going to have, is he going to be doing a live tonight? Is that what you're saying? Welcome to the Caravan. Make ready for what's to come. Caravan to Midnight. Let me go to his website. Okay. Jellyfishnews.com. Electors versus voters, the truth. All right, I'm going to check this dude out. Yeah, for sure. I'll listen to some of his stuff. I'm intrigued, to say the least. Let's check out his Twitter. See what he got going on. Who is John B. Wells? What's he got going on? Electors versus truth. Live 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay, so that's tonight. All right, cool. I'll make sure to drop in and check it out, see what he's about. Yeah, and if you want checking out that podcast I was talking about, I think you'd like it, especially if you're just into history or trying to figure out well, he's mostly history. He doesn't really talk about what's going on too much. He did have a interview with Tucker Carlson that was pretty insane. He's out of Texas. I can't imagine living in Texas right now. I have a friend who's a Mexican, and he went down to Texas like 3 months ago to try to find work. And he said, dude, as a Mexican, he can't find any work because of all the illegal immigrants. He goes like, man, 10 years ago when I was down there, everybody was hiring Mexicans. Well, everybody is hiring Mexicans, but they're hiring like the lowest paying Mexicans ever. And so he's down there used to making money out here in Indiana. He's legal. He's a legal citizen. Super cool dude. But he's like, man, I got underbid on every single job possible. Like we all do construction. So he said he was just getting slammed. Like no work for 3 months, and he's like, all right, I got to go back. I got to go back to Indiana. So he came back out here, but yeah, he said it's bad out there, especially for work. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never heard of him in my entire life, so I'll get gamed up on this John B. Wells guy, especially if he's talking about this stuff. I'd love to hear about it, or just politics in general. I mean, that sounds pretty stupid and cliche, but yeah, there's a lot to learn. Like you said, there's a lot I don't know. I'm just kind of out here upset about what's going on, and so I decided I'm going to make a channel and I'm going to talk about it, talk about what I see. Most of our factories went overseas. Good paying jobs for most are hard to find. It is hard to find a good paying job. I have owned my own company for 10 years now, and so I do pretty well for myself. I mean, my family's taken care of, thank God. But I decided last year I was going to try to just find a job with like a 401k and with benefits and with everything. And at the end of that, I did like 3 or 4 interviews. Dude, these places are so hard to get hired at. Like if I actually had to go out and get hired, I had to do 4 interviews to be a chief engineer at a hotel. Like 4 interviews, and I'm way overqualified. And they're like, we're going to hire somebody from inside. Like, why even waste my time with 4 interviews if you know you're going to hire this other dude from inside your company? What's the point? So that pissed me off pretty bad. But I'm glad I didn't. My business is still rocking and rolling, and we're good to go. So I just would like a little bit more work-life balance, which is pretty hard to find. That's why I created this channel in the middle of everything, and then I was like, shit, or I don't really have the time to do this all the time. But we slowed some other stuff down that I was doing, and so I figured I can get back into making videos and doing something I like as a hobby. It's fun. It's fun for me. Trying to talk to my wife about politics she is not interested at all. She'll hear me out, but she's like, whatever, nothing I can do about it. I'm like, there is something you can do about it, I promise. But she's just not her thing. He's on 6 nights a week. Heck yeah. I'll listen tonight. I'll check him out. At least give it a listen. If I could figure out how to maybe do a stream where I can listen to him and we can all chat, maybe I'll try to do that tonight. Tell me about it. That workbench, well, it's going to follow me this way. That workbench over there, that's my little workout spot in between, work, my hobbies. I have a few hobbies. Working out, staying healthy, eating well, taking care of kids, making sure my wife feels loved, quality time with her. Dude, right now is the craziest time in my life by far, but it's also like the best and most rewarding time of my life. So I can't complain at all. But that is why I'm so frustrated about everything going on in the world. I grew up I grew up poor. I mean, like poor. I remember my mom was trying to get a job when I was 13 years old or something. She was going to make like $18,000 a year. And the government was like, nah, too much. You have to stay at 15,000. Otherwise we're cutting off all of your benefits. And it's like, dude, I think the way that they should do benefits is this. You get 6 years, right? 6 years to pick yourself up. They go, we're going to help you. We're going to help you out. We're going to give you 6 years worth of benefits. And no matter how much money you make in those 6 years, even if you like ended up making $100,000 a year, we're still going to keep you on benefits until that 6 years is up. That way people can grow outside of it, because like, what are you going to go from 15 to 18 and then you have to pay for all that other stuff? It's way over $3,000. So excuse me. The way the benefit system is set up is to keep people poor. 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, I want a better life for my kids. I gotta make sure that happens because you trade. Yeah, trading time for money is the biggest scheme ever, man. I think if you can figure out how to give people a quality service at a decent rate and do it without spending all of your time there, you figured it out. So what is your handle? What do you mean, what is my handle? I don't think I understand that question, bro. I've been thinking about doing one of those Amazon shops, trying to do something where I can, like, I mean, you can go on Alibaba and find all kinds of stuff, but you have to buy like 1,000, I don't know, let's say like book reading lamps. And I don't know that I want to buy 1,000 book reading lamps if I don't know that I can sell the book reading lamps. But I guess that's just kind of like the risk you take when you're starting at one of the shops. But you find stuff on Amazon for $10. You can find it on Alibaba with 1,000 of them for like $1.50, and then you could sell them for $8 and still make like a $2 profit on each. And Amazon will actually keep the stuff at their place and send it out for you and everything. So it seems like a lucrative business idea if I had the time and money for it. But right now I don't. Yeah, David. What do you mean? What is my handle? I don't think I understand that question. My hands are still covered in paint and drywall. Not so much drywall that came off, but I paint a lot of painting. A lot of painting. We've been doing a full house remodel for replying the chat. Okay. Oh, gotcha. We need to talk now. I think it is. We need to talk now. Like if you wanted to share this with people, I think that's youtube.com/we need to talk now. I'm also going to start doing some, I'm going to probably start like a religious channel, a history channel eventually, if I get the time, if this picks up. This is honestly one of the most fun things I've been doing with my time in a while. I enjoy it a lot because I already listen to the news all day anyway. So, hey, why not get on here and tell people the short versions? I am dropping a new video on Monday about the workers' tax credit, and that's one of the big reasons I think a lot of this immigration stuff is going on. Is these companies get like $9,600 per employee they hire that's not an illegal citizen or an American citizen. So they end up saving what, millions of dollars per year just hiring people that aren't American citizens. Really cool. Good job, American government. You really thought that one through, didn't you? Of course they did. Of course they did. Cool. All right. Well, I'll definitely hop in there tonight. I don't know how long. I probably won't be able to watch the whole thing. My week was extremely busy, so I'm going to spend some time with my family and hang out. I'll probably go do that here in a little bit. I'll probably stay on here for like 10 more minutes and go say hi to the family. We need to get back to religious values, nurturing critical thinking skills and creative skills. Yeah. I mean, that's when you break everything down. If we got back to religious values, almost all of our problems would go away. And if you're not a religious person, that's fine. But even like and I won't say all of them, but let's just think about like abortion, single motherhood, single parents in general, not just mothers. If we were back to a culture that cared about being married before you had sex, hey, there'd be a lot less people out here that are having a 3-hour-long show tonight. I won't be able to watch the whole thing. I can guarantee that, but I'll hop in there. I'll see what's going on and listen to them for sure. But no, if we just got back to having Christian values in this nation, a lot of things would go a whole lot better. And I love when people go, oh, well, aren't you supposed to love thy neighbor? And you're not loving thy neighbor because, you care about illegal immigration. Okay, no, let's just stop right there. It's okay for a country to have sovereign borders. People are nuts. Yeah, critical thinking skills, those aren't taught. Those aren't taught at all. I don't know. I mean, they can be taught, I think. They're not taught in schools. That's creative skills. And yeah, just teaching children how to build. I teach my kids. My oldest is almost 4, and I teach her how to build. Like, she helped me build her playset. I'm teaching her how to use a drill, what they do, what kind of screws we're using, why we're using this kind of screws, stuff like that. And she's way beyond, like, she knows some stuff, man, that would really shock most people, especially when it comes to tools or what they're for or how to use them. She's pretty wise. Yeah, I'll be in there, David. I'll be in there. I'll look for you. I'll shout you out. Well, guys, I appreciate you hopping in here, chilling with me. I'm going to go downstairs, spend some time with the kids. I just wanted to hop in here and say hi, and see what was going on, get to know people a little bit better. I'm going to start doing these lives a little more often, probably a couple times a week. I can do these in the mornings and the afternoons. It's a lot easier than recording a whole video and then going to the editing process and everything. But chat starts around 7 our time. Show starts at 9:30 our time. All right. Dang, he starts the chat an hour and a half early. Big balling over there. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I'll make sure to get on there. I'll set an alarm on my phone. Thank you, Stacy, so much. I appreciate it. If you would just, the best thing you guys can do for me is just share my videos, Facebook or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to keep up the channel and any kind of news I get. I'm going to jump in and really dive into this Eric Holcomb being in Ukraine thing. So expect a video on that, because that's weird. What's the point? What's the purpose? And if you just got in here before we were talking about that, we were talking about Eric Holcomb, our governor, is in Ukraine right now meeting with Zelensky. So what? All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. David, thank you for letting me know about this John B. Wells guy. Yeah, let's just get the word out there. Let's do it. Let's figure out how to get more people involved, and hopefully we can come to some sort of peaceful resolution. Hopefully Trump gets in and this whole thing is just like washed away into our past and we can get this country back on track. But, you know, that's not always how history works. And we're definitely, the times we're going through are some insane times, as far as like if they get to the history books, if people actually talk about what was going on in America in 2020 to 2025 or whatever. Absolutely insane. All right. See you guys. Take it easy.